Okay, so when you think about the global race for AI in 2026, you probably picture new, mind-blowing models and software. But what if I told you the real story? The one that's actually shaping our world is hidden. It's about the physical stuff, the economics, the hidden currents of power. Today, we're going to connect those dots. Let's just start with a number. Over 1,000. That's how many different AI policy initiatives have been kicked off by more than 70 countries. Think about that. It is a global legislative scramble. Every nation is desperately trying to figure out how to regulate this technology before it, regulates them. Now, for a totally different number, $100,000. In late 2025, that's what a single oil tanker, yep, an old-school oil tanker, was earning per day. This is an industry that a lot of people thought was on its way out. So what's the connection here, right? How does this crazy flurry of AI laws in places like Washington and Brussels have anything to do with the soaring profits of a tanker floating in the ocean? Well, the answer reveals this hidden revolution that's happening right under our noses, whether we see it or not. First up, let's talk about the conflict we can see, this massive global divide over how we should govern AI in the first place. The reason everyone is scrambling is that AI isn't just software anymore. It's way bigger. It's like we're living through an industrial revolution, an information revolution, and a cultural renaissance, all at the exact same time. That's why the stakes are just so incredibly high. And all that pressure is creating these three completely different playbooks. You've got the United States, which is going all in on an innovation-first model. Then there's the European Union, which is building this fortress of risk-based enforcement. And the UK? Well, they're trying to find some kind of pragmatic middle ground. And these aren't just policies. They are fundamentally different visions for what our future with AI should even look like. So for the US, it's all about one thing: speed. The administration in 2025 literally started tearing down previous regulations, calling them restrictive. The new game is to unleash development as fast as possible, all with the stated goal of making sure America, not China, wins this global AI race. It's a strategy that puts national security and market dominance first, period. Meanwhile, the EU is playing a totally different game. Its AI Act isn't about winning a race, it's about protecting fundamental rights. It actually creates this hierarchy of risk and then just outright bans technologies that are considered unacceptable. We're talking things like government social scoring or AI that's designed to manipulate you. It's a completely different philosophy where the primary goal is protecting citizens. And look, this isn't just some theory. While the US is hitting the accelerator on deregulation, the EU's AI Act is moving into its critical enforcement phase. The ban on those unacceptable risk systems, it's already in effect. And by August 2026, the full rules for high-risk AI are going to apply. For any company that operates in Europe, the clock is absolutely ticking. But all of this, all these policies, all these laws, they're all sitting on top of a physical reality. We have to look at the engine that is actually powering this revolution, and, maybe more importantly, the fuel that it's burning through. For years, we've heard this story about a green transition, right? The idea that new, clean fuels will just replace the old, dirty ones. But the reality on the ground in 2026 is something operators are calling energy addition. The AI revolution isn't replacing our old energy system, it's just adding a massive, new layer of electricity demand right on top of everything else. Get a load of this number, 105 million barrels. That's how many barrels of oil the world is demanding per day in 2026. That is a record high. And a huge piece of that new demand is coming from the absolutely insatiable appetite of AI data centers. It's the physical price we're paying for our digital world. This quote from an energy logistics expert just nails the disconnect between what we thought would happen and what's actually happening. For decades, the smart money said oil was on the way out, but the market had other plans. This new demand, driven by things like AI, means oil isn't just still here, it's arguably more critical than ever. So, we have this war over laws and a hidden boom in energy. But there's a third front to this revolution: the battle over information itself, and maybe more importantly, how we decide what's even true in an age of algorithms. So to get this, we need to understand a key term: altmetrics. Basically, it's a way of measuring the impact of research not through old-school academic citations, but by how much buzz it gets online.
Mentions on social media, in the news, on blogs. It's a metric of attention.
And here's the problem. Alt metrics measure attention, not accuracy. Online attention has never, ever been the same thing as truth. And in the age of AI, that gap between what's popular and what's actually true is becoming a massive chasm. The evidence for this is, well, it's pretty scary. Studies are showing that even when a scientific paper is officially retracted because it's wrong, it just keeps getting shared and talked about online as if it were fact. The bad information just keeps spreading. Now imagine that process supercharged by AI that can create endless versions of that same flawed idea. That's the battlefield we're on in 2026. Okay, so given this tangled mess of regulatory chaos, hidden energy costs, and information warfare, what can any of us, businesses, individuals, actually do? Let's try and build a practical playbook for how to get through 2026. For any organization out there, the key is not to just sit around and wait for perfect rules. It's to build a defensible baseline for yourself right now. Step 1, clean your data. AI is garbage in, garbage out. It's that simple. Step 2, document your intent. Actually write down what your AI is supposed to do and the principles you're using. And third, train your people, constantly. Skills in this field get outdated in months, not years. And as you're doing all that, you have to keep your eyes on the market. Expect the huge players, the hyperscalers like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, to just accelerate their dominance. That's going to lead to a lot of market consolidation, where smaller, specialized AI companies either get bought or they go out of business. And finally, get ready for prices to change. The insane costs of infrastructure, legal battles, and compliance, that's all going to get passed on to you, the customer. So here we are in this chaotic, revolutionary moment. The race for AI dominance is well and truly on. You've got some nations tearing down the rules and others building fortresses around them. And it leaves us with what might be the single most important question of our time. In this race, who is actually building the guardrails for humanity?